In this video, I will tell you the requirements for a residence permit in Finland this year. In 2024, Finland offers various residence permits catering to different needs and circumstances. While each has its specific requirements, they all serve the primary purpose of granting foreigners the right to reside in Finland for longer than a typical visa period. B. Permit. Temporary residence permit. This is for those who intend to stay in Finland for a specified duration, such as students, seasonal workers, or those on a fixed-term work contract. It's not automatically renewable and is tied to the purpose of your stay. Permit A. Continuous residence permit. Suitable for individuals who have an ongoing reason to stay in Finland, such as permanent employment. It's usually valid for a year but can be renewed. Permit P. Permanent residence permit. This is for those who have lived continuously in Finland for a set number of years and have integrated into Finnish society. European Union Blue Card. A special residence permit for highly skilled non-European Union citizens, the European Union Blue Card, not only allows residence in Finland, but also facilitates mobility within the European Union. Documentation requirements for obtaining a residence permit in Finland in 2024. The Finnish Immigration Service has established specific requirements that each applicant must adhere to. The following is a detailed list of the main documents required to obtain a residence permit. A foreign passport. A passport is a fundamental document for any international procedure and serves as proof of identity and citizenship. All applicants must have a passport valid for the entire duration of their intended stay. It is recommended that the validity period of the passport be extended for at least 6 months after the expiration date of the residence permit in order to take into account any unforeseen long stays or delays in processing extensions. Also make sure that there are a couple of blank pages left for the necessary stamps or stickers. The application form. The application form serves as the main document in which applicants declare their intention, provide personal data, and indicate the type of residence permit they are applying for. Available on the Migree website. It is extremely important to make sure that all the information provided is accurate, up-to-date, and consistent with other supporting documents. Misrepresentations or inaccuracies may result in refusal to submit an application or delay in submitting an application. Passport-sized photos. Although this may seem like a simple requirement, photos must meet certain standards. They should be of a certain size on a light gray, pale blue, or white background. Your face should be clearly visible, your eyes should be even, with a neutral expression. Refrain from wearing any headgear, except in cases where it is related to religious or medical reasons. These photos are used for identification purposes and must be recent, usually taken within the last 6 months. Medical insurance. Healthcare in Finland is of high quality, but can be expensive for those who are not covered by the Finnish social security system. If you apply for a permit for less than a year, you must have comprehensive medical insurance from a recognized international or Finnish insurance company. This insurance should cover the costs of treatment and hospitalization. Those who apply for a permit for more than a year are often expected to join the Finnish social security system. Otherwise, you will have to provide proof of having private health insurance with extensive coverage. Certificate of criminal record. Safety and security are of paramount importance in Finland. To do this, the personal data of applicants for a residence permit is checked. The certificate, commonly referred to as a certificate of non-conviction or certificate of non-conviction, must be issued in the applicant's country of residence. If you have lived in different countries for the last 2 years, you may need a certificate from each country. Remember that it must be recent, usually released within the last 3 months. Proof of sufficient funds. Finland needs to ensure that all residents can provide for themselves without being a burden to the state. The exact amount may vary depending on the type of permit, but, as a rule, you must demonstrate access to sufficient funds to cover your living expenses. This can be through bank statements, payroll receipts, tax reports, or a combination of the two. If someone is sponsoring your stay, their financial documents and a letter of support may also be required. What are the Finland work visa renewal costs? If you wish to extend your stay in Finland beyond the validity of your current work visa, you can apply for an extension. The renewal fee for most types of work visas in Finland is $160 for electronic applications and $430 for paper applications. What are the Finland work visa? Overstaying costs. Overstaying your Finland work visa can lead to serious consequences, both financially and legally. Those found overstaying can be subjected to fines which vary depending on the duration of the overstay. Additionally, overstayers might face an entry ban into the Schengen area for a specific period. Can the visa be refunded? If my application is unsuccessful, the fee paid for the Finland work visa application covers the administrative processing costs and, unfortunately, is non-refundable. This means if your application is unsuccessful, the paid amount will not be returned. It's essential to ensure that all documentation is in order and meets the criteria before submitting to increase the chances of success. How many times can I renew my Finland work visa? The renewal of a Finland work visa depends on the type of visa and the purpose of stay. Typically, work visas can be renewed as long as the employment condition persists and the applicant continues to meet the visa requirements. However, after a certain period of legal residency, one might be eligible to apply for a permanent residence permit or even Finnish citizenship, negating the need for continual work visa renewals. Do all the Finnish work visas have the same processing time? In 2024, the processing times for Finnish work visas can vary depending on the type of visa and specific circumstances. Here are some key points. 1. Visa categories. Different work visa categories, such as the specialist, researcher, or general work visa, may have different processing times. 2. Application volume. Processing times can also be affected by the volume of applications received and the time of year. 3. Individual case factors. The specifics of your individual case, including the completeness and complexity of your application, can influence processing time. What are the rights and restrictions? Having a residence permit in Finland comes with specific rights, but also some restrictions. Working rights. Depending on the type of residence permit you possess, you might be limited to certain types of jobs or sectors. For instance, a student residence permit might only allow part-time work or work related to one's field of study. Study rights. With a continuous residence permit, you have the right to study in Finland. However, with a student residence permit, it's expected that studying is your primary activity. Travel restrictions. While you can travel to other Schengen countries for short periods without a visa, prolonged stays or work might need additional documentation. Public services. Depending on your permit type, you might have access to public health care, social benefits, and other public services. What is the residence permit renewal policy? While some residence permits are valid indefinitely, many need renewal. When to apply? It's crucial to apply before your current permit expires. Starting the process 3 to 4 months in advance is advised. Documents and requirements. Renewal often requires demonstrating continued adherence to the initial permit's conditions, e.g., continuous employment for a work permit. Change in circumstances. If your reason for staying in Finland changes, e.g., finishing studies and starting a job, you might need to apply for a different type of residence permit instead of merely renewing the existing one. Renewal fee. There's typically a fee associated with renewing your permit. The cost might vary based on the permit type and any changes in regulation. If my residence permit application is rejected, can I apply again? Yes, you can reapply for a Finnish residence permit even after a rejection. However, it is crucial to understand and rectify the issues that led to the initial rejection. This may involve correcting errors or omissions. Ensure that any mistakes in your previous application are corrected. Include all required documents and information. Addressing the reasons for rejection. The rejection notice will explain why your application was unsuccessful. Address these specific reasons in your new application. Improving your eligibility. If your circumstances have changed in a way that strengthens your application, include this information. Legal advice. Consider consulting an immigration lawyer or advisor for guidance on improving your application. Remember, Each application is treated independently, so a previous rejection does not automatically mean a new application will be denied. How long does it usually take to process a residence permit application? The processing time for Finnish residence permit applications varies significantly, influenced by factors such as the type of permit, the volume of applications, and individual circumstances. As of 2024, standard processing times. On average, applications take a few weeks to several months. For example, work and study permits may be processed faster than other types. Checking status. Applicants can often check the status of their application online through the Finnish Immigration Service portal. Expedited processing. In some cases, there may be options for expedited processing for an additional fee. Impact of accuracy and completeness. Ensuring that your application is accurate and complete can help avoid delays. Are there any age restrictions for applying for a residence permit? In Finland, there are generally no age restrictions for applying for a residence permit. However, certain age-related considerations apply. Minors under 18. Applications for minors should be accompanied by parental consent and potentially additional documentation related to guardianship or custody. Age-specific permits. Some permits, like those for retirement or certain types of work, might have age-related criteria. Age and dependency. For family reunification, the age of dependents can affect the application process. Educational permits. Student permits may have specific requirements regarding age and enrollment status in educational institutions. It's advisable to review the specific requirements for the type of residence permit you are applying for, as they can vary.